I'm hurt. This is the first time I'm talking about it. I'm hurt that my relationship is over. And I did the best that I could, to keep the relationship going on.
So I then decided, you know what, let me just lose 2.7 million to 3.2 million.
Say what, huh? Say 2 point what?
2.7 million. I had to pay out around 2.7 million.
So you were owing people 2.7 million?
2.7 million, yes.
I do not want Miss Universe Botswana to happen this year, if I'm being honest. I want them to go back to the drawing board and prepare and get their resources right and everything else that's needed. If not, leave it alone. It's traumatizing for the contestant. If you don't have the money, don't try it. Pageantry is expensive.
Cap City, B-Dub, Africa, the rest of the world. What's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Juice 2.0. Super appreciate your time. Could have been anywhere, but you're here with us. Returning subscriber, I got so much love. And in case you haven't subscribed, come on. Join the winning team. Click subscribe. Let the family grow. Today, we're not coming to you all the way from Icon Barbershop. Yeah, our relationship has finally ended. Yeah, after a very long time. I'm hurt. This is the first time I'm talking about it. I'm hurt that my relationship is over. And I did the best that I could, to keep the relationship going on, fanning the embers of the fire. But yeah, it just didn't work. And sometimes you just gotta let certain things go, you know what I mean? And it's happening before Valentine's Day. It's like, come on, man. I mean, this relationship could have at least, got into Valentine's Day. But big shout out going out to them for holding it down for us the time that we spent. It was great. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to you all the way from Fine 38, a new hotel situated in Block 10, Setlua. Come over here, man. It's actually almost about to open its doors to all of you guys. But what's happening and operating at the same time now is the altitude deck. For all your events, come over here. It's a restaurant and bar. So come over here at the altitude deck while the hotel is about to open. And, plug life. And so big shout out going out to them for, housing us today for this episode, which is about to be a bomb. I mean, I usually say juicy episode, but it's really about to be a bomb because I got some of the most explosive people in B-Dub to come on this podcast for a conversation of an hour or an hour and a half. It just depends what the vibes are. But I've got so much information as well that I want to share with you guys about what the podcast is getting up to. So just be on the clock, be on the eve. It's about to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, for the first conversation, because I got two people on this podcast, first of its kind. But first, and coming up first for a conversation, he's a businessman. Or I'm not too sure if he's the businessman or he is the businessman. He's a hustler, a hustler's hustler. And he's a farmer of note. He's a family guy. He's an all-around big influencer in B-Dub. The moment he gets on Facebook and he's putting your business on it, you're already guaranteed of like 20,000 viewers in like 2 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to put your hands together for the electric, the explosive Ndinaye Chengeta.
You give me too much credit, man.
You deserve it.
Always a pleasure, man.
How you doing?
I'm all good. I've always been a fan of the podcast. I'm glad to be here.
You lie, bro.
I swear, man. When you called me, I was like, who is this guy? But then you told me, I'm that guy. Then I was like, it's that guy.
I'm him. No, but I appreciate it. I hope you're not saying this because I saw your episode with Joey. You say the same thing. So how do I know this is genuine?
With Joey, we are from way back. Mm-hmm. When I was still running bars, clubs, etc.
Right.
I literally raised the guy.
Yeah.
So I'm from way back with the guy.
I love it. So I had a bone to pick with you, right? Right before I invited you to the podcast. Okay. I was like, should I invite him? Maybe not. The reason is you have been to every podcast. Every podcast. Guys, this gentleman has been invited to every podcast but my podcast, right? You've been to Joyce, shout out Overview. You've been to Mohobe, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Shout out to him as well. You've been to Deep Dive with my boy. What's going on? Shout out to him as well. Wait, have you been to Pudikas?
Not yet.
You haven't been to Pudikas?
No. Then I've also been with Wadamaya again.
See. So of all the big podcasts in B-Dub, which are four really, you've not been to Scars and Today You're on Mine.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's a definite pleasure.
Yeah, I appreciate your time, by the way. But let's get into it. Why do you feel like people call you for a conversation? All these podcasts and every other platform that you've been called to.
Well, I think what happens is like, I believe I'm a guy who has a story to tell.
Yeah, yeah.
A story to tell or a life that is worth sharing. Because the way that I live my life is such that, a lot of people follow my stories, they follow how I do things, etc., etc. Because,
Right.
I live my life from a perspective that it's unapologetic completely.
Right.
I do what I want, when I want, how I want. And generally, I always get what I want at the end of the day.
Do you?
Always.
All the time?
Always.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But you're actually such a great storyteller. I've seen a few comments on all the platforms that you've been at. People commend you for being a great storyteller. But for a person that must know, what is Ndinaye Chengeta's story? If you had to summarize it, what would you feel like is the one thing that you are known for, and for people that do not know you should know you for?
Well, what happens is that I am one guy who likes transacting with other people.
Yeah.
I love seeing other people happy.
Nice.
I hate negativity, by the way.
Yeah.
So I also believe that the world is there for us to all share.
Right.
Also, I want to note that for as long as I'm on the planet, I believe that you only get one shot at it. So I want to live the best of my life, where I do everything that I want to do, when I want, the way I want, etc.
Right.
So in short, I can never be stopped by any form of negativity. Whatever comes, I always take it as a lesson.
Yeah.
I move on.
I like
and
that.
Where we sit now, a lot of people follow me because I'm more like a symbol of hope. Because a lot of people would think, hey, when things go wrong at some point, maybe you need to maybe give up.
Right.
But in my world, we never give up.
I like the fact that you say you don't let negativity stop you. What's the hugest, most humongous piece of negativity that has ever happened in your life, or that people have given you that you've had to overcome? I'm interested in that part, for real. I'm like,
I saw that coming. I don't saw it coming. Well, what happens is, at some point, I came up with a project. Mm-hmm. And at the time when I came up with the project, I was set. I had my monies, I had my properties, everything was moving in the right direction. Then something told me, you need to share with others, you understand? So I came up with a silly idea during the COVID period.
Right.
And my brother warned me about it to say, hey,
don't do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
But I was like, hey, man, I live once. If I don't do it, I'll always ask myself, why if, you understand?
Yeah.
So like, I pulled off this other stunt where I created these initiatives. Yadipudi, Yadikoku, etc.
Yeah.
The one which ended with the name 0.7, you understand? The most complex mathematical equation in the country.
Right.
Yeah, so like I came up with that project with the hope that we would think alike in terms of benefiting as well as...
Oh, with the people that you're bringing
Yes.
on? Okay.
But unfortunately for me, I think when it came to the vetting process, I sort of recruited anybody, meaning that we had so many people who had borrowed money from elsewhere. So when now things didn't go the way that they wanted in terms of the yielding of results, they needed someone to blame.
Yeah.
So in the process, I had to sit down and say, okay, fine, here I am, I'm an enemy of the state. I've never been in this position. How do I escape it? So I was like, hey, you know what? Where we sit now, I can either battle it in court,
right,
or alternatively, I could save face, pay off everybody, they go home because they don't even understand what transpired, you understand?
Right.
So it's better you just pay, because after all, you'll come back, you understand?
Yeah.
So I then decided, you know what, let me just lose 2.7 million to 3.2 million.
Say what, huh? Say 2 point what?
2.7 million. I had to pay out around 2.7 million.
So you were owing people 2.7 million?
2.7 million, yes. So I engaged my attorneys to, handle all the accounts, pay off everybody.
Right.
And, there is one area where I feel like I really paid a heavy lesson
Who are your lawyers, by the way? Sorry to interject.
Makeri attorneys. Man, that guy is good.
Shout out.
Man, that guy is very calm. He's very nice. When we sat down, he actually told me, listen, we can go to court. But in the end, you still have all these guys who don't understand what transpired. We can pay them, then you can start a threat.
Right.
And he told me, listen, you are smart. Once we are done with this, I'll do contractual agreements for you. then we can move forward.
Yeah.
It would be a lesson learned.
Okay.
So it was one heavy lesson that I learned, which I would never go back to. But I'm very happy that I had to go through it, because I think before it happened, I was naive.
Yeah, that happens a lot, right?
trusting.
Like you're in a cloud of some sort, and then you
Yeah.
kind of, it blows up and then you come down.
Yeah. Again, like social media will mislead you. Social media will make you think that people love you in huge numbers. You understand? Just allow something to go wrong.
Then you find out.
Then you will know the reality of social media. So I usually feel sorry for a lot of people who have not gone through challenges, because I need them to go through challenges, because those challenges teach people who your true friends are, which family members will stand with you in times of crisis, and it also teaches you a lot in terms of crisis management.
Of course. Did you lose a few friends around that period?
Dude.
Man.
Yeah, it's loud, right? Well, let me tell you, in terms of friends, the truth is...
there's one specific person that I heard you lost, and I want you to talk about it.
No, you'll ask me directly when we get there. But, I have people that I've helped in the past, you understand?
Yeah.
People whose family members are buried in terms of contributions, etc., etc.
Right.
And it was a shock for me that the people that I was there for were actually celebrating my downfall.
Are you
understand?
serious?
I'm telling you. God. Then, you'd have guys that you have done a lot for, but at the last minute when you are now in trouble, they disappear because they don't want to be associated with that bad vibe that you are part of. You understand?
Right.
So it's something that I learned to understand, that you need to stand on your own.
So
you need to be strong.
Yeah. And you seem like a very strong person, and I think that's a few challenges that make you. You know what they say about diamonds, coming out of pressure and all of that. But speaking of some form of negativity as well, you lost your grandma on Sunday.
Yeah,
my condolences. What happened? Are you able to share?
Yeah. Well, the topic about my grandmother is a painful one, because, she was the one who was taking care of me while I was still young, because my parents were working.
Yeah.
Then at some point when I went for TS, there's a few goats that I bought and gave them to my grandma. Funny enough, years after, my grandma says, "You've got 24 goats." And I long forgot that I ever bought those goats. I was buying them for her and not for me. Then she tells me, "You've got 24 goats."
Wow.
My relatives are shocked. How does he get 24 goats when we don't have goats? You understand?
Right.
So those are the ones that I first used at my farm, which were actually the platform or the foundation of my initiatives.
Right.
So recently, she was not well.
Okay.
I started traveling a lot to Francistown, but I felt like I can't just go to Francistown, then not do much. So that's when I started doing this business advertising of small entrepreneurs.
Yeah, and you're doing very well, by the way.
Dude.
Let me just give you your flowers, man. Dude. Nah, for real. Like the minute you post something about somebody, their business, whatever small, however big, you are guaranteed some numbers, man. Yeah. But anyway, please continue.
Yes. So while I was there, I decided, hey, let me push these little guys.
Yeah.
And that thing was working. I remember there's one guy, the engineer guy, who was going through the divorce issue, etc.
Yeah.
That guy got a lot of assistance from people. Then I decided, you know what, let me focus on this thing and see how far it can push.
Right.
More especially because it's in Francistown, let me learn about this place. Only to realize that a lot of people in Francistown are hustlers. A lot of them are running businesses from home.
Right.
The only problem in Francistown is that most of those people are not advertising. So if given a platform like what I'm giving them now, they're likely to go far. And this thing is growing to a point where right now, I've got lodges actually volunteering accommodation,
I saw that.
etc. Yeah. So it's a nice thing.
That's beautiful.
So with my grandma, I have been going there to check on her to see the health, etc.
Yeah.
Until this past weekend, when I went there, she was totally not well. And even when we were talking, she was saying goodbye.
Are you serious? Because I was going to ask you, are there some last words that you remember?
Well, she was saying that we should not part ways with the others, you understand? That we should always be united, you understand?
Wow.
She mentioned a lot of unity during that period to a point where I was like, hey, she knows what we are likely to do after she departs.
Yeah.
So Even after we talked, I expected something to pop up that evening. Fortunately, it didn't. Following day, my aunt calls. It was about something else. I was like, phew. The next thing, when I'm driving from Francistown, passing through Mahalape, my mother calls. I see that number. I'm like, oh, God, it has happened.
Shame.
So, boom, it's that one. But I'm like, at least I managed to spend those last days with her.
Yeah. I'm really sorry about your loss. Loss is a very, very terrible thing. But on the brighter side of things, your businesses are doing great.
Beyond great.
For someone that is very, very interested in your life, and there are nosy people on the Juice 2.0, by the way. What is Ndinaye Chengeta currently doing right now?
Right.
As far as businesses are concerned? I know you own a farm, right? There are projects at the farm that are happening right now, but just mention them
categorically.
Yeah.
Well, what happens is that I'll mention them in accordance to my schedule.
Okay.
On Mondays and Fridays,
yes,
I'm at the farm.
Mondays and Fridays.
Yes. So on
Ladies,
Mondays,
you hear that? Oh, kind of you're taken. Kind of you're in a relationship, huh?
I'm fully taken.
Ladies, yeah.
Marriage.
Cut.
Yeah. So like on Mondays and Fridays, we are engaged in a lot of construction as well as supervision of our projects at the farm.
Okay.
The same project that failed the other time.
Yeah. And they were laughing at you the other time.
The other time.
And you bounced back.
I bounced back big. You know, like I've got tenants for days.
I've
got tenants on standby.
Where do you get that from? Where do you get that? Is that your dad or your mom?
Well, I think as we were growing up, my father was into business. So he taught us a lot about the type of businesses you can run, type of businesses you should totally stay away from.
Right.
So, that's where we learned things about, like the volume-based businesses, the service provision, etc.
Of course.
So when you look into the type of businesses that I run, I dwell more on the service provision because there I'm just offering my time, my skills, etc. So I hardly ever make a loss.
Shout out to your dad, man. Shout out to your dad.
That guy's my boy. Like,
it's a blessing when we're this old and our parents are still alive. It's like,
dude,
man.
Even our grandparents. Huh?
Even the grandparents are alive. It's like, dude, this is such a blessing. Okay, so Monday, Friday projects. Yeah.
Supervision of projects.
Also, tell them, sorry, I keep doing this. Tell them, the ones that laughed at you when the project didn't work and now it's working. Please, I want you to take these 2 seconds. The haters, they must feel you tonight, for real.
Well, what happens is, I think through time.
No. Chengeta, I said, please, kindly, look into the camera and tell them.
Look at me now.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so like, it's really working, I'm excited that it's working. Even weight, I've really gained weight.
Yeah.
I used to be so tiny when I was in trouble, etc.
Okay.
So we've got tenants even on standby.
Yeah.
And now, the painful thing about it is that we've got people from well-off families engaged in the project. Wow. Now, those ones without money can no longer do it because it's slightly more expensive now. You understand? So you get a parent from Pakalani saying, no, I'm sponsoring my kids to go and learn business while they are there. You understand?
Right.
So we always have tenants.
Okay.
So it becomes a source of income that is totally undisturbed.
Yeah.
You get your rentals every end of month, etc.
Right.
Then most of my money, I'm focusing more on the construction side of the farm.
Construction.
I've put a wall around the farm, put up parkings.
Nice.
I'm putting up 4 event venues there.
Amazing.
Including
wedding venues?
For weddings, conferences, you name it all, for all sorts of businesses.
How's the guy with the elephant? Is he done now or?
He's not done.
He's not done.
It looks good now.
I saw it.
Hey, dude,
I was like, good. This is proper business. Yeah.
You see, that part is where I can tell you that. You see, when you identify people who were done wrong and you bring them closer, they always have a skill to share. They have a story to share. Yeah. That guy, when I found him, I had been hunting around for someone who can make an elephant for me. Guys were refusing with the number completely.
Yeah.
Then one day this guy goes like, hey, I saw a post somewhere. Is it possible that you could have been talking about me?
Wow.
I'm like, is the elephant just after the corpse yours? It's like, that's my elephant. I'm like, I need the elephant. He's like, listen, since people don't broadcast my number, let me go and broadcast that number for myself at your farm because it's currently visible.
Right.
So I allowed him to go and do his thing. I'm more than amazed with the work that he has done there.
I love that. So why an elephant? Is that your totem?
Well, we had to come up with something that I felt would not be too complicated for him. Little did I know that the guy was too good. So I'm even embarrassed that I should have asked him to create me instead.
Yeah. You would have probably done a great job with that as well. Dude, so Monday, Friday, farm, and then you're building construction, venues. So give us a time frame, because I like to be an accountability partner.
By end of this year, I'll be done with everything.
End of this year.
The
you guys hear
sites,
that? They can call you.
Lodging facilities, they can come through.
They can come through.
Yeah.
Congratulations in advance, by the way, because I know you're gonna do it.
You're
a man of your word. After
all. Definitely.
You look bigger. You've put on weight. You even admitted to it early on. How much of this are we crediting to your love life? Huh? How much of it?
Well, it would be. Well, I don't have problems completely in my relationship. Stress free. My woman loves me. I was about to say she loves me more than I love her. I would get in trouble for saying such things, right? But
you won't get some this Valentine. She's like, nope.
But that woman loves me. My kid loves me. It's always nice when you're home, you understand? You always want to go back home to your kid, to your woman, etc., etc., you understand?
I love that. I love that. Where did you guys... please continue.
We met on social media.
That's where you guys met?
That's where we met.
Facebook?
On social media, on Facebook.
So what, you slid in her DMs?
I sent her a message, then I deleted it. Then she's like, what did you send? So that's how the whole thing started.
Yeah.
We started chatting, then we decided to meet.
Yeah.
Then later we had a kid.
Yeah.
So initially I could have gotten married this year.
Right.
But that was before I realized the amount of work that we still need to do with the wedding venue at the farm. Because, the first time around, I was like, hey, maybe I'll finish quickly by just putting a lawn. But then later I was like, hey, I want something nice.
Yeah.
So now it's really costing me, because I think in a total of 2 years, which is last year and this year, I should have spent close to or over $1 million.
You've already spent over $1 million?
I've already spent more than half a million already, going towards $1 million, you understand?
Right.
So, I want the best for my family. I want to get married and not go broke after marriage, you understand?
See, you're a smart man.
Yeah.
You're a smart man.
I want to continue flowing.
I hear stories about people that borrow money for their
I've
weddings.
heard a lot of that.
Yeah?
I've heard a lot of that.
Like, what's up with that?
It's like people are desperate to get married for the date, you understand? But the actual marriage is about the after the celebration, you understand? Because you now have to stay with this woman. When you are broke, I tell you.
You need a good woman.
Women change.
Brav.
You need a very good woman.
Have you ever dated someone in your past who just, you could feel or you could notice that they're probably just here for, my pocket? Because you've been blessed when it comes to money. I think you're one of the people that I feel have been really blessed when it comes to money.
True.
You've never really struggled with money,
No.
So in your past relationships, have you noticed that, that's the one?
Well, it's difficult when it comes to women, because they project. They project where you are likely to be in a few years, etc. So, with most women, you'd find out that the moment they had projected, then things don't go that way. You are finished. Yeah. And I think, if I may touch on my past marriage, I feel like things that transpired to get me into the position that I was in were actually a blessing. Because, if I was not in that amount of trouble at that time, I think I could have killed someone.
You think so?
I think so. Because sometimes I think about it like, what if there were no problems? Then I find out that the child is not mine, and I have to go through a divorce. How would I react? Now, I had a lot of things that were going through my mind. I was thinking about too many things. So I feel like God protected me during that period by creating, that type of chaos which is beyond comprehension.
Unbearable,
Yes. So in that case, I feel like, hey, with women, they are unpredictable when it comes to you going through problems. You need a very good one.
You gotta, and they're very rare to find nowadays. Sebaga, are you a good woman? Yeah? No? How do we know?
Sebaga's dad said that Sebaga is a good woman.
So we believe Sebaga's dad.
We have to believe it.
Yes, we do. We did.
Otherwise, the father is going to kill us.
So take me, dude. Like, your story is crazy. How do you even now gather the strength and the confidence to get into a new relationship after you were cheated on and you found out that the baby was not yours from the previous relationship? I will speak personally. I think my insecurity levels would have been for years. But for you, it took you how long? A year, 2?
3 years.
3 years. And now you're with another child, with another fresh, new, happy relationship. How was that easy for you to do?
I think it's not about being easy. It's about tact. As well as support.
Right.
Because imagine a situation where you thought you had a child, then boom, you don't have a child anymore.
Have a child, right.
You know, it's a problem because that's time wasted, bonding with someone, you understand?
Right.
So during that period, when you now have to decide on the divorce, you need support.
Yeah.
My father is my pillar stone because what he says goes, you understand?
Yeah.
I believe in that guy.
Yeah.
So I remember after my divorce, I was still stuck to the child, but I didn't know what to do. Only until my father realized that I was sick, that I was attached to the child. Then my father said, fine, since you seem to love that child, let's go and see that child. But tell me, once we get to that family, which you divorced, what are we going to say? What if the real father comes in? What are we going to say to him? You understand? Because we've got no relationship with them because we chose divorce.
Right.
You know, on that day, a lot of weight lifted from my shoulders.
I imagine, yeah.
That night, for the first time, I managed to sleep because my father had introduced me to reality. You understand? So, you know, a lot of people don't get that type of support or do not have those people that they look up to helping them to be able to escape.
Especially the boy child.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in my case, I was happy and I was rescued by my father, to tell the truth. So after surviving it, my father said, hey, listen, remember, you are a guy who knows how to work your way up.
Yeah.
So all the women are looking at you. You did well in your marriage. Everybody knows that you tried. So all the women are obviously going to throw themselves in your direction.
Chengeta.
You see, my dad is old school, eh?
I'm telling you, bro. The old dude, man.
So it's like, go have fun.
Yeah.
Don't bring any girl home because you are not ready. So I disappeared 3 years. Hey, I was happy.
You were in the streets.
Hey, I was happy.
In the streets.
I was in the streets. My artist friends, because I grew up with a lot of guys who are in the industry, the entertainment industry.
Right.
You know,
Your
most of the promoters, all these V-Man
your casts.
Dr. Vom, etc.
Dr. Vom, yeah.
So these are guys who made sure that I'm always out. I'm happy.
Nice.
etc.
Hitting up one night stands and stuff.
Nah, I was more into the entertainment side.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
Nice.
VIP side, etc.
Nice.
So I was a happy guy. Until when I felt, hey, I'm done. Now I'm tired of this thing. You know, I think I was born to get married.
I think I was about to say that. There are people that are just not meant for the streets, you know what I mean? So you're not for the streets.
I'm not for the streets completely.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, me too, by the way. Yeah. Sebaga is like me too.
You know, like the streets, if you don't have a partner, they're a waste of a lot of time and energy.
It's depressing. It's stressful, man. The streets.
And when you work hard, imagine you're building all these structures, then you come home and you don't tell anyone. You know, these side chicks don't care. They won't even ask you, how are you? They was, if you have eaten, you know. I'm not engineered like that.
Yeah.
I want to come home and know that someone cares. They want to know. They ask me where I've been, what I've been doing, how is progress, etc.
Yeah.
Then in that case, I'm able to build even more. So I think my partner is that person who wants to know everything about you.
Right.
So it keeps me on check. So I can't say we were doing this yesterday, then tomorrow we are still doing the same thing.
Okay.
You
can get that.
So there has to be progress throughout. And my
that.
partner is that person who pushes you to be progressive throughout.
I love that for you, man. To be able to bounce back, you needed someone who can also hold you down like that.
Exactly.
So shout out to you and your partner. When was the last time you spoke to your ex-wife?
Like at the DNA on December 18th, 2021.
It's been years, man.
Yeah, so ever since we've never talked, we've never even passed each other anywhere on the planet.
Have you always been like that with your exes, that if it's done, then it means the relationship is severed? No phone calls, no text?
Well, it depends. It depends. There are people that we still talk to who will ask you for help when they're in trouble.
True.
But with this one, I think it was better that way because there's nothing for us to really share.
Yeah.
Besides, I've moved on. And when you move on, you don't want insecurities when it comes to your partner to say, what if, are there any other things that you still need to discuss that side? You understand? So, like I was about to tell you, Monday, Friday,
Yes.
the farm.
Yes.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
Right.
debt collection during the day.
You are a debt collector.
Yeah. One of the very best in the country.
Bro, what have you not done, bro? This guy's been a DJ. This guy's a farmer. This guy's a businessman. Model agency as well. Film and TV creation.
Been there. So, debt collection during the day.
Right.
In the evening, I'm a psychological counselor.
Right,
I counsel.
right.
From 6 o'clock to midnight, I'm counseling over the phone, online. So, I sleep just after midnight. So, I'm hardly ever free. Then weekends, you talk Saturday, Sunday. I'm usually traveling, helping others with their businesses or with family.
Awesome, awesome. Look, what's your kid's name, by the way?
Her name is Sky.
Sky.
Yeah.
Hey, Sky. It's Uncle TK. How you doing?
You see, Sky's now a celebrity.
Sky, you're a celebrity now. I'm endorsing you. Wow. You know, I gotta put you on. So I got a few names that I gotta drop that are buzzing lately, right?
No problem.
One of which is Sebaga Manyepetsa.
Yes.
Have you seen the posts?
The truth is, my wall is so busy that I only heard that there is something between her and
the organization.
The organization, Moss side, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But I didn't pay too much attention to because my wall is busy.
Of course. But have you heard stories about these organizations, beauty pageants organizations in the past? What are some of your thoughts in the past about some of these rumors that fly around or stories?
Well, I don't know because in terms of pageants, I wish they could be given to organizations that are...
They need you. They need you, bro. Just do it. Add it to debt collection. Add it to debt collection.
Hell no way. There are things that I will totally not do.
Okay.
Modeling agencies, beauty contests, beauty thingies, I don't want to be part of.
Okay.
Including politics. I'm totally not interested. You understand? Because there's too much talk.
Too much talk,
yes.
yeah. Okay.
Where I'm going, I want to retire into a world where I blast my money silently with no noise.
And then Mwela Dilo. Defamation, charges. I saw Sebaga's status one of earlier today.
There was defamation too. There was also defamation in there.
She was also, I think they might be getting me to jail.
You know,
this is me.
You know, this defamation thing.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming. You know why?
Right.
I think on social media, we are not careful with what we say.
What we put out.
Because sometimes we are reckless with what we say.
Right.
Because some things that we say, especially as influencers, they've got the potential to go further than you expected.
For sure.
And that's the reason why we are called influencers, because we influence the direction.
Right.
So what we say goes, you understand?
Yeah.
So in my case, I wish all our influencers could dwell more on building than destroying.
Right.
Because we'll do so much destroying that whoever is going to do the cleaning afterwards is going to take a long time. You understand?
And that's terrible.
Yeah,
that's terrible. Yeah. Are you guys friends? What level of relationship do you guys share?
We are social media friends.
Okay.
We are friends. If he's going in the wrong direction, I could always tell him, hey, let's not take that direction. You understand?
Yeah.
I've always told him to package his thing differently. You understand?
Yeah.
Because the way that I think they're doing it so far is not very safe for both him and those around him. You understand?
Right.
So I just wish he could look into it, package it nicely, such that it works for everybody.
Should he let it go if he gets out of this thing unscathed? If he's not imprisoned, if there's no jail term, should he let it go completely, or he could just try and package it? But then again, the nature of his content and the nature of the person he is, I don't think there's going to be a good level of packaging that would bring out the authenticity of who he is. Because I think the authenticity is what people really gravitate to, and then he puts it out. But I don't know. Should he let it go? Should he not?
Well, I don't know, because me and him, we are different. I've always told him that that's a line I would never do completely.
Right.
I'm not that brave. I don't know how he survives it.
Yeah.
You know, I have a family. I don't want to be going to jail and coming back out. You understand?
Nah.
I want to be outside. I want to blast my money. I'm more about the money.
Right.
And I'll tell you the truth. There's a time that I actually talked to him to say, listen, you need to make a decision about this thing.
Right.
To say, are you a messiah who is out there to help, or are you about the money? You understand?
Right.
I'm for the money. I think he's a messiah.
Yes.
I'm for the money.
You're for the money.
Yeah, I'll always go the direction where the money is.
I like that. I like that. You're for the money, Papa. All right, so there's this right here. The budget speech came out. Did you check it out? Any interest at all? Why? What are these people? You see? You see? All right, let's move on. It's okay. All right, so I need you to touch on this one right here because you're a farmer, by the way.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts around like the import ban on vegetables? There's floating intentions. I think I want to describe it that way. Floating intentions to lift the ban.
Right.
Did you benefit from the ban? Would you not benefit from the lifting?
I'll tell you my position.
Yeah.
I don't care what they do. You know, I never care what anybody does. You understand?
Yeah.
Because I believe we always have to learn how to adjust. You understand?
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
You need to adjust.
Yeah.
If they open, no problem. It means we have to create better products to compete.
Yeah.
If they don't, still we have to compete locally because you find out that they still have their own people who are doing supplies. You understand?
Yeah.
So I believe in surviving through the cracks. So whatever the situation is, the worse it gets, good, because we need to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Setlomo, the moment you hear that word or that name, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Nothing.
At some point, I'm not going to quote him verbatim, right? I did nothing.
No, but nothing.
You say nothing? Nothing at all?
Nothing.
Okay,
You know,
so at some point, you're very controversial, bro. You said nothing. At some point, I don't know which podcast I was listening to. It might have been Joey's, and I'm not going to quote him verbatim. He might have said that you may have had some influence, negative and bad influence, on Moela Dilo.
Me?
You. At some point. And he may have attributed it to your charisma and the way you speak and the way you influence, the way you charm and all of that. And only to the effect that you would influence Moela Dilo negatively. What do you say about that?
Well, in my world, I don't believe in influencing anybody in a negative direction. You understand?
Okay.
Because I don't like these wars.
Yeah.
They are a waste of time.
Right.
I don't want to be involved in anything which I'm not making money in. You understand?
Of course.
So, whenever you find me somewhere, you should know that I'm making at least a table out of it. You understand?
Yeah.
So, for the first time, I'll talk about Setlomo.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
To me, I feel that Setlomo is probably a good thing for the country.
Probably.
Because there are times that I agree with what he does.
Yeah.
But the way they do it is like the Moela Dilo side.
Okay.
I won't totally agree with you on what what message you want to convey.
Okay.
My problem is usually how. Now, I'll tell you about in my situation.
Yeah.
You know, at times I sit down and I'm like, this me Setlomo war, was it necessary? Why couldn't he talk to me on the side to say, hey, the direction we have taken, this is how it comes out?
Why were you guys fighting? That back and forth?
Well, what he was saying was that the way that the initiatives have been composed, they come out as a scam, you understand? So with that, I don't think it's anything difficult that you could have just pulled somebody aside to say, hey, listen, this is what it looks like, or this is the direction that you are taking. Right. Then we sort it out, you understand? So I don't think it was supposed to blow up the direction that it took, etc. Then people follow it, you name it all. So that's my position. So in terms of am I against him? No.
Okay.
Am I against anyone?
No.
No, I don't have the time.
You're a peaceful guy. Speaking of the things that might be good for the country, being Setlomo, how do you feel about what his role was in the CEDA thing?
I can't comment because
Sani
Siriti is my friend.
Okay.
Yeah, he's my friend, so
right.
I can't
loyalty.
Yeah, I don't have a choice on that one.
Yeah. How is he doing? Do you know?
He's doing well.
Yeah.
He's doing well because most of the times I always say, even when there are problems, learn to keep quiet. You understand? Learn to know when to talk, when the right time comes.
Yeah.
I think that is how I escape situations. When there's noise, I keep quiet, I pull back, I plan.
Right.
But when I come back, just know that I'm going to destroy you with progress. You understand? I'm one guy who always preaches, hit them hard with success. And when you come, hit them really hard.
And
No
success,
jokes.
man, it speaks volumes, bro.
Yeah.
It speaks volumes. Who is the biggest influencer between Setlomo and Dan Kinosi?
Hey, Dan has been an influencer for the longest time.
For the longest,
For
yeah?
the longest time. And with Dan, the amount of work that Dan has done for this country in terms of the risks he has taken,
Yeah.
they're immense.
We can't put them together, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dan is a veteran. He was with The Voice.
Yes.
And again, he's someone that I know well because during the time when he was in Botswana,
Yeah.
we spent time together.
Yeah.
At some point, I was even his fan before we became friends.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Just like you were a fan of me before you came here.
Definitely.
Hey!
And Juju Fine.
And Juju Vine?
Juju Fine.
Okay, name me 5 influencers that you really, really mess with. That they do it for you. All right,
Juju
obviously,
Vine.
number 1, TK, okay?
Dude. Can I put you at number 5?
Okay, you can put me at number 5. It's fine,
Good.
it's fine.
Juju Fine.
Juju
number 1.
Vine, okay.
I love that guy because, you know what? That guy, when he says he's your friend, he's your friend. He works with ethics. And when I say ethics, he's one guy that I've always asked myself, so when this guy is free, what does he do?
Right.
The guy is never free.
Ever.
Ever. Just like me. So that's what I love about him.
Yeah.
And he will support you to the bitter end.
Shout out Juju Vine.
Shout out Juju. When he has a contact,
Yeah.
he will share it with you, no matter what. Then I was initially an associate to Mudidima, not a friend, through Juju Vine.
Through Juju, right.
Then I got to learn that this guy is just a gentle giant. You understand?
Yeah.
He didn't mean to wallop my friend. He's a hard worker, hustler,
Yeah.
good at marketing.
Amazing.
His product, if you are not the target market, you will not buy. But I visited him 2 weeks back at his facility. There are so many people who stop there.
Oh, wow.
So he's got his own people who are buying from that place.
Amazing. All right, so Juju, number 2.
Vima Peasy, you cannot dodge that guy.
So you guys share something in common. You're both divorcees. Is that a bad thing to be a divorcee? Is there like a stereotype, a stigmatization that goes around that? Like,
no.
Let's say you're not, hypothetically, you're not with your woman, right? You're a single guy. Has it been that you've stepped out or you're in a conversation with a woman and when you brought up the fact that you're a divorcee, it was sort of shunned upon?
With me, I think people, because when I got married,
Yeah.
my wedding went so viral.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it went so viral.
I need to check that out.
I was at
You guys know
Kubla
this?
Khan.
You guys know it?
I mean, I spent close to $500,000 on my wedding.
Shout out.
Yeah, man.
Levels to these things, bro.
Yeah, man.
Levels to
Yeah,
these
man.
things.
Yeah. So even during, celebrations,
Yeah.
I'm the one who came up with the roses, the bouquet with the money, etc., etc.
Right.
So people knew my entire relationship, my entire marriage, including the way that I took care of my kid then.
Yeah.
So, it profiles you. So to a point where now, the whole divorce thing, I think we have changed the notion around it to say it's a bad thing. You understand?
Yeah.
In fact, to a point where I even appreciate it from a perspective that says, if it's not working, don't beat people, don't insult them, don't go the reckless route. Simply exit.
Yeah.
You'll survive it.
Yeah.
When you leave someone, you'll always find someone better. I don't know how it works, but it's like you'll always find someone better.
Right.
In my world, I feel like I was rehearsing.
Wow.
So the rehearsal is done. Now I'm doing the right thing.
Do you think your ex-woman looks at you and your life and gets bitter sometimes?
The truth is, I never even think about it. So I wouldn't know.
All right, so yeah, because I had said Vima Mpizi because Lena is divorced,
Yeah.
and that was a terrible patch of his life, It was a sad. Did you guys speak during that time, or
There are times that we
who
talked.
got divorced first?
I went first.
It was you
But he should have gone first.
What?
He took too long. He should have gone first.
What does that mean?
He knows that his ended before mine.
All right, touche. Okay, so yeah, Juju V Mampizi, because I'm at number 5, remember? So
Yeah.
we need one more.
You know, there's this guy, BJB.
BJB.
I'm not his friend.
Yeah, I was sleeping on BJB.
Yeah, but this guy creates other people.
Yeah.
I feel like even his relationship, the past with Lala,
Yeah.
he created that product.
Dope.
Because that boy creates products.
Yeah.
I've seen him from far. He's doing a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like maybe the maturity aspect, he will get there in terms of molding his product.
Yes.
But eventually he will get there once he realizes the type of power that he has.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's a new dawn for B-Dub. It's a new government. Shout out to the UDC. It's advocate in the building. You know what I mean? It's my boy
in the house.
in the house. What are some of your feelings, man? Are you hopeful for new dawn to shine as bright as it possibly can?
I pray so because it's a change.
Yeah.
They will obviously struggle here and there, but we are hoping that in the end,
Yeah.
if they want to do the right thing,
Yeah.
we hope that they eventually do the right thing.
Of course.
Because right now you should realize that Botswana are woke now. They're woke, but at the same time I feel like while they're woke, they have learned something that is reckless. They've learned that they can remove people who don't do what they want.
Right.
So meaning if you don't please them, it's a problem.
It's a wrap, yeah.
So the question is, what if what they want is not the right thing?
Jeez.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because right now I think
there.
Boko has a big problem with this issue of the wrongdoers, what needs to be done. You see that the excitement is about something should be done about them.
Yes.
But he knows that there's a process that needs to be followed. And, it's going to cost them votes.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish them the best, man. That's what you can always hope
true
for.
that.
You know what I mean? It's Valentine's Day. I'm about to let you go. Apparently, I'm almost out of time. It's Valentine's Day in how many days? Who has the math here? Today is Tuesday. 3 days?
3 days.
What are you planning to do for your woman? The one that you're so in love with. You're blabbing about it all the time. The kid as well. It's a great relationship. What are you planning for Valentine's Day? And it's dropping on Friday, which means when it drops, it'll be actually Valentine's Day.
Wow. Well, usually I take time to plan for Valentine's Day on my own. Last year, I dodged it because I told her I gave her a daughter just around Valentine's Day because my daughter turns 1 tomorrow.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Your daughter is a Valentine's baby.
Yeah, so this time I can't escape it.
Right.
I'm still thinking along the lines of what can I possibly do to blow her away because I'm that guy who wants to step out of my way. I'll have to do something before I leave for the funeral.
Yeah, of course. You still have to do that, right?
Yeah.
What's the biggest Valentine's gift you've ever either given or be given?
Well, massage with a bouquet of monies.
Yeah, ne?
I've done that.
You're the guy.
Oh, wow.
You're the guy. You're the guy. And you're obviously getting laid on Valentine's Day.
Well, I'll be at the funeral.
Yeah. Well, so maybe you need to
Mona, I'll be at the funeral. I'm only thinking about the funeral right now.
So people during a funeral, they don't get laid. That's a thing, right?
Well, right now I want to focus. I've got a lot of work that I need to do, traveling expenses, etc., arrangements, how are you going to help others, etc., etc. That's what I'm focusing on.
Ndinaye Chengeta, what should B-Dub look out for? I'm sad that we only had almost an hour because we also need to speak to this young lady over here who's buzzing in B-Dub, has caused a lot of traffic on social media. You know what I mean? But what should Botswana look out for? Anything you want to say as your last words?
I'm a growing brand, seriously.
Growing brand, yeah.
And when we started last year, I told people, I told them that I become a millionaire by end of the year.
Yes, sir.
By end of this year, I'll be a millionaire.
So what's your net worth right now?
Well, I wouldn't know because when you look at my farm right now, I think the value is at over 5 million now.
5 million. You wanted it, at some point you said you wanted it to be over 6 million.
Yeah.
So you're almost there.
I'm almost there, yeah.
Okay. Good. Great team of support around you, right? People that lift you up.
A lot of good support. Even my employees, they understand where we are going, what we are doing, etc., etc.
Great.
So we are building an empire and deliberately I'm doing it publicly so that I inspire the little guy out there to understand that
Yes,
there's
yes.
nothing that can stop you.
Speaking of inspiration, in just a few words, I also noticed that you're conducting counseling to people that might be going through not the same thing, but almost the same things that you have faced in your life, in your past. How's that coming up, especially for the boy child?
It's coming up well, because when it comes to DNA, a lot of guys are woke now.
Yeah. So we must check, né?
Guys must check.
During right after delivery, né?
The truth is, rushing into marriage without checking most of these things. I think DNA should not be a problem. I think what needs to happen is, if you're a woman and you know that the child belongs to this chap, allow them to just check, so that everybody sleeps at night knowing that.
There's a country that actually checks. They've made it a mandatory thing to check for DNA as soon as a baby is born. I think we should have that here.
I think that's the best thing. For you to go into the birth certificate, let's just confirm, you understand?
Yeah.
Then there's the issue of divorce. Most of the guys are actually scared, you understand? They don't want to do it. They don't know about the implications, etc. So I teach them about that. So even in debt collection,
yes,
I'm not out to bully people or destroy anyone, you understand? When it comes to debt collection, what I do is I help those who are owed to get their money. I also help those who owe to be able to generate income.
Some financial intelligence, right.
So that, everybody gets paid and everybody's happy.
You're a double-edged sword, my man. I love that. Exactly. You know what? Okay. See, now this is a popular... Dude, I know that you came across a comment about your child in the past, right? And that prompted you to check. But I've always wondered, how did you break it to your ex-wife that you wanted to check for DNA? And how did she react?
Well, what happens is, I saw that comment around April 2021.
Yeah.
I had to keep quiet the whole year. She was blasting me this side. Hey, this is not the type of person that I applied for. Always in trouble, etc. This side, I'm supposed to contain these people that I owe money. It was hell. So I had to keep quiet April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November.
Oh my God, man.
Until end of November, that's when I said, hey, now that you've always requested the divorce, let's go through the DNA first. I knew that it takes 18 days. So on December 18th, I knew that I wanted to wire 2.5 million to the other guys. And at the same time, I also wanted to deal with my divorce on the same day.
Yeah, you have said that you wanted all your problems to go away at the same time.
Yeah, which I did. They're gone. So now here I am. I'm free. I'm even debt-free. I don't owe anything on the planet.
I love that. Yeah. I love that for you. Oh, my God. Honestly, man, I'm sorry that you went through that patch, but because you have said what you've said, I'm also happy that happened.
I'm also happy that
to you, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And for people that look at this podcast and this episode and they've known your story, the inspiration is oozing, man. The inspiration is always there, bro. Like, okay, if I can go through this, and if he can go through this and come out of the other side victorious, then, I can do the same.
Exactly.
Ndinaye, man.
Always my pleasure.
Dude. It's good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. You've poured into the Juice 2.0, a person of your caliber with your numbers on social media for you to come over here. Because I know the moment we're going to bang with this one, right? We're going to bang, right? Right, yeah, but I actually need words, but...
He's a comedian.
Yeah, it's like yeah, but I'm just saying that from the bottom of my heart, man. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for contributing to our podcast and our content. And may the good Lord bless your hustle and your family and everything else. Yeah. One time.
I'm always thankful, man.
Sure. Voila. Ladies and gentlemen, businessman, hustler, farmer, DJ, everything in this world, this gentleman has done it. We actually just didn't have enough time to pickle on every other little thing that he has done. But you know him as your favorite person on social media, influencer of note. When you see him, say hi. And when you see this episode, you already know we had to bring the best. 2 words, Ndinaye Chengeta. Until the next time, actually, until, the other episode, because we have Sebaga Manyepetsa. But for this part, stay juicy. Peace. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for the second part of today's episode, we had to bring her on, man, because B-Dub is literally buzzing, and it's all because of her. She put the internet on a buzz, and it's really, I wish it was out of like really good stuff that was happening in her life, but she put out that stuff because she's actually not happy. If you're wondering who I'm talking to, this part of this episode. She is the founder and director of Toronto organization. How's that coming up?
It's great. It's still up and alive.
Yeah. I still need to contribute into that, by the way.
Yes,
Yeah.
you owe me.
Founder and director, Toronto organization. Miss Universe Botswana 2024 second princess, Miss Botswana 2024 second princess, Miss Botswana 2022 second princess. You already know who she is. She's really cute. Ladies and gentlemen, for a conversation that we needed to have because she needs to tell us what's been going on.
Yeah.
Sebaga Manyepetsa. Hi.
I'm back.
Back like Mukwata.
Like I never left.
Like you never left. You know, there's a song. Akon, Whitney Houston, like I never left.
I don't know that song. I'm a 2000 baby.
Oh yeah, I'm a
Sounds like an
2K.
awesome.
How are you?
I am okay. I've been getting a lot of that today and yesterday, but I'm okay. I'm
Yeah.
alive. I'm tired. I'm breathing. I'm fighting.
I love that.
So I'm good.
Thank you so much for coming back. We did a Miss Botswana 2024 podcast,
Yeah.
pre-podcast, I think. And I was such a huge fan. I'm still a huge fan today. But you're back for the second time. I was joking with you that you're pretty much a resident on the podcast.
Yeah, I am.
You know?
Yeah.
And you also said a lot of people wanted you on the podcast today, and you chose the best.
So I'm here. Let's not.
It's levels to this thing, isn't it?
TK, stop.
I know.
Stop.
Enough. But look, dude, you went on social media
Yeah.
and posted this, right? Allow me just a few minutes to read
Yeah.
this. To the incoming Miss Universe top 30 finalists. Here are a few things you need to know about Miss Universe Botswana as you will be starting your, hopefully, exciting journey. It's like a hopefully. It's like, hey,
Fingers crossed.
I guess. I will not gatekeep. Here's what to expect. Number one, punctuality is not a thing at all. I don't remember a single session that started on time, and we found everything organized as expected. If it's scheduled for 8 a.m. until lunch, just know they're starting at lunch and finishing at 9 p.m. Jeez. Number two, bring your own food and water. Even if it's a long session, please don't assume that you will be fed properly. Always, always, always have money on you to buy food or to get a cab because some events, di hela maseho kabo 10 p.m. and you'd have to find your way home. Yikes.
Yeah.
Number three, don't complain or you risk being kicked out. Don't discuss with other contestants something you find concerning that might be happening as this will be viewed as influencing others to fight the organization. Just take it quietly or write an email. They don't respond. So there's number 4, there's number 5, there's number 6,
up to
7,
10.
8, 9,
Yeah.
10. He was calling it the 10 commandments, you know what I mean? But let's get serious with it, Sebaga.
Yeah.
What happened?
A lot happened. Everything that I stated happened.
Yeah.
And you're even talking about it. I'm really trying not to cry because it's a personal thing. It's something that happened.
Yeah.
Not just to me, but to the other contestants. I wasn't happy with the treatment. I felt like the organization, I still feel that way, that they're not ready to be hosting the girls for top 30 or 20 or 10.
Right.
Because one, how are you calling us to a place when you cannot give us water or food and we are there for long periods of time? It cannot be a thing.
Right.
And I think for me is coming from Miss Botswana, which is an equally big pageant, there was an expectation of some level of, treatment.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I had that in my head that it's a given. There's food, there's water, people are punctual, it's organized, and then I didn't get that. So that's when I was like, this is not going too well.
Right,
So,
right,
yeah.
right. So then that was happening, but you obviously spent some time or days marinating on your unhappiness. What then prompted you to go out on social media and post?
I think for the
Because like I was
longest
sharing
time-
with you, right?
Yeah.
You've always been like, Sebaga, you know what I mean? Like you're not going to speak and stand on your word.
Yeah.
But I've always viewed you as a person that would take a long time, marinate on certain things, try to work relationships before you out a person, right?
Yeah.
So what happened for you then to say, guys, you know what, screw it, let's do it?
Yeah, I actually took too long before I came to social media. I tried everything that I can to reach out to the organization, to reach out to the director, to reach out to everyone that I know, and nobody replied me.
Right.
From email to WhatsApp, direct calls, direct messages. I felt stupid.
Yeah.
And about weeks after the finale, I did try to reach out. Nobody answered me. And my parents were like, "Where's Miss Universe? What's happening? Why are they not talking to you?" Which I didn't know. I had to just go beat around the bush and be like, "Oh no, they'll call me. Oh no, let's wait a bit." Oh no, my parents are like, "No, we'll not have this."
Right.
So I waited for months before running to social media because I realized that this man is online, but he's not talking to me.
Right.
This man is looking for the top 30, but he's not talking to me. This man has moved on with his life and he's not talking to me.
you, right.
And my biggest thing is I can take it. And I have said this before that I want my prize money, but if I don't get it, I don't care. But what I do care about is that the same treatment is not given to the girls after me. I want Miss Universe to do better, and if
Right.
they're not able to do that, they should give someone else the license.
So let me get this clear, right? What you were seeking attention for was not necessarily what you wrote on the social media post. It was something else that you were making follow up on, but you were not getting any feedback or.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, what was it exactly?
I wrote him an email, a letter.
Yeah.
The two main things on my letter were my prize money.
How
and
much?
also-
How much we talking about?
That's the thing. He did not communicate. He
Oh.
was asked by the media people. He never communicated. He said, "Oh no, I'll talk to you guys the week before the finale." Never happened.
So you're owed prize money.
Yes, of which I don't know, it could be 5 bula, it could be 10 bula.
Whatever
I
it
don't even
is.
know.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
And then it was the prize money, and also I was just asking for clarification that you can't be quiet for this long. I'm your current reigning princess. Talk to me, communicate. What is the way forward? I'm not happy because you're not talking to me. Can we sit down and talk? He ignored it, and yes, he opened it and saw it, of which he said nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what you're really complaining about.
Yes.
First, prize money and clarification.
Yes.
And people just needed to communicate.
Yeah.
If it's there, communicate. If it's not there and people are
Communicate.
struggling, communication is
Yeah.
better. I think you would have appreciated someone that picked your phone and said, "Look, I know we promised you prize money, but we don't have it now. Can we work on a payment process that might take a month or two?" You would have been
Yeah.
happy with that?
I would have been happy with that. It has actually happened with Miss Botswana. At the time, I don't even want to reveal too much, but
Yeah.
there was a time where we had to sit down and talk about my prize money. We can give it to you now, but eventually we will give it to you. And I had negotiated with them that I want this and this and this, and if you guys don't give me these things, I'm out. And they
Yeah.
told me, "No, we cannot help you now, but eventually you get them." And I'm getting them now as we speak. So
Right.
communication is very
It's
key.
very, very
Proper
important.
communication. That's all I ever ask for.
So for a lot of people that might feel, and this is such a unwarranted feeling, they might feel, "Girl, did you really put in the effort to be heard? Did you knock on doors? What are some of the efforts, can you remind us, that you took to fight for at least the attention that you needed, that was deserved anyway?"
Knock on which door, TK? Miss Universe Botswana doesn't have an official office.
Wait.
If you wa- I've never seen that office. I've never been there.
So
I
where's
don't think there's an
business
office.
operation?
I can't even answer that, which is odd. So that's the other thing. It's not like formalized and organized. You never know what to do.
Right.
To a point where I had to hit up some members of the team, and they told me, "Oh no, I'm no longer part of the team," says the deputy director. So there's just a lot that's happening, a lot of confusion. So the only person I could reach is the director himself, of which I don't even know where he stays. I don't know where he chills. I don't know where to find him. So the best thing to do is to just call him or text him, and he
Right.
doesn't return my calls. So what else was I supposed to do?
Of course. So how long did you call this man?
Oh my goodness.
Emails, text messages, phone calls. A period of how long?
I don't even, about a couple of weeks.
Couple of
About
weeks.
a couple of weeks, yeah.
And this is documented, yeah?
Yeah, it is.
So phone calls, no return phone call.
No return.
WhatsApps?
Yes. On
Blue
WhatsApp,
ticks.
directly. Blue ticks on
Blue
WhatsApp.
ticks on WhatsApp?
Yes.
For a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Man, that's
Yeah.
dirty.
I can even text him now. If he's online, he's probably just going to blue tick and move on.
So what does that tell you as Sebaga? You are the current reigning second princess.
Mm-hmm.
You're owed prize money by this organization. And you're trying to get just your dues, right?
Yeah.
And you're getting that kind of treatment. What does that say to you about the organization and the person involved?
That there's not an organization I should have trusted in the first place, and that nobody should trust it. And I just had a bad feeling from the start. I won't even lie.
Okay.
And I remember my dad telling me, "You cannot be competing with these people. You cannot be competing in this organization." I was like, "But I'm in too deep. Let me just finish what I started," because I just felt it was going to be odd for me to be like, "Oh no, I'm out. I quit."
Yeah.
So I just fought to finish, but I was just not happy the entire time.
Yeah.
And even the other contestants will tell you, I'm someone who's very, as much as people feel like, "Oh, Sebaga is cute, Sebaga is," I'm very verbal and I'm very expressive when I don't
That
like
shocked me a
something.
little bit. I was like, what?
I'm very straightforward. I think I get it from my dad.
Yeah.
If I don't like something, I will say it. And I kept
Right.
complaining, even from the very beginning we met. I was like, "Oh no, these people are like, there's no time. We've been here for so long. There's no food. Why am I not fed?"
Yeah.
And I remember talking to the judges. They're like, "Oh, how are you?" I said, "I'm not happy. I haven't been fed. I've been here since morning, and now it's like 10 p.m. and
Yeah.
I'm being interviewed. How am I supposed to do good, you know?"
Right.
So I've always brought it up that I wasn't happy. I couldn't leave because I was in too deep, and I just felt like, let me finish what I started.
Right.
Yeah.
Something that was really pressing that even my brother Scar from Pudikas mentioned, he was like, number 7 is actually quite something.
Yeah.
Number 7 on your post read, "The director is always right. He doesn't like to be opposed, doesn't take advice, doesn't take correction well, doesn't like it at all," with capital letters, "when people try to speak up. His
Yeah.
word is final and Hausa khone ukatso."
Yeah.
Yeah? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's exactly that. The man does not like to be corrected. He
Yeah.
doesn't want people coming up to him to be like, "Oh no, can't we do this differently?" No. He knows his plan and it
Yeah.
will not be changed. And if you cannot comply with that, you gotta go if you want to go.
Right.
And I remember at some point when we were at the boot camp, we were trying to note down our concerns and communicate to him as a group to tell him, "No, we are not happy because of 1, 2, 3. You guys are always behind with time, the food, you don't communicate, everything else." We just try to write it down and communicate with him. And he was like, "Oh no, I'll not listen to you guys. Why are you grouping yourselves together? Why don't you just come to me individually? If you have
Right.
a concern as Sebaga or whoever, write your email alone. Stop taking everyone else along and fighting the organization." That's what he said.
Right.
And I remember one of the production guys was so unhappy about that. He said, "Oh no, my brother, but listen to the girls, they're talking. Why don't you just hear them out and try to resolve this?" He was like, "No." Like, he was so defensive about it. My heart dropped. I was like, "There's no way." I couldn't believe it. Also because I'm not used to having the director at the forefront of things in an
Right.
organization like this. Like,
Right.
you are up there. You should have delegated other people to be running things. They should be your chaperones, your PR people, your, like in any other pageant. But imagine little old me dealing directly with the director and telling him I'm not happy.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm going to feel like, "Oh no, I don't stand a chance." So it's just that person who'll be like, "No, don't say anything to me. If you have your concerns, send your email." And then at some point, some girl's like, "But I did send an email."
Yeah.
He said you didn't. The guy's like, "I sent it. I can even show you." He's like, "No, you didn't." And it was just that.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was pretty bad.
Yeah, this is heartbreaking, by the
Yeah.
way. Are there other ladies that are similarly circumstanced? You know, when things like this happen, people start to out certain maladministration, certain injustices. You will find 1 or 2 other people that say, "Hey, me too." It's almost like the Me Too movement,
Yeah.
right? It's like, "Hey, me too." Have you, in the past days of this happening, received phone calls, gotten messages, WhatsApps from ladies who have dealt with the man or the organization saying, "Hey, Ghana, you're not the only person. This is," and the third happened to me too?
I really have. Almost everyone who was on his team called me and complained to me. People who were on the production team, people
Yeah.
who were contestants, people who worked with him from as back as 2013. And he had a workshop he was supposed to do. People paid 950. They never got that money. I don't know what the agreement is, so I don't want to get too deep in.
Right.
But they did come up to me to be like, "Oh no, that's the same guy. We face the same problems with this guy." So it seems like it has been happening for so long, which is heartbreaking. I believe there should be a body, some sort of structure that looks into
Overlooking,
these things.
yeah. Oversight
because
bodies, yeah.
It looks like we are having the same problems across all pageants. And I just want to make it clear that me talking about this, I don't want it to be like, "Oh, at the end of the day, Sebaga got a prize money and that's that. Everyone is happy." I want every single person to bring up any time they were mistreated in pageants so that we call out these people. And if you did get any form of mistreatment, speak up, because I personally believe it doesn't always have to be about me. I always speak for the people people.
Yeah.
So our younger brothers and sisters and modeling and pageantry, we should speak up for those people, because pageantry in Botswana is getting a bit toxic.
Right.
People are being mistreated, people are being abused, and that needs to stop. And the only people who are going to stop this is the people who have faced the mistreatment, people who have seen the problem. So guys, please speak up. It's not going to take only me or two people or three people. We are all going to need to come together and speak up and be brave and be bold and cry if you have to while speaking, but speak.
Right.
Yeah.
Usually when things like this happen and it's a lady involved as the complainant, there are a few fears, that surround our female counterparts when it's issues of injustices, ill treatment, blah, blah, blah. It's almost as if most ladies are fearful to come up and speak. And that fear is not unwarranted, because sometimes when you speak up, there's a whole lot of victimization that come right after that, right? So when I saw your post, I was like, oh man, I'm glad she's doing this. She's standing up for herself. But I also, in the same talking, started wondering, were you not scared of any form or type of victimization? Because we've seen that happens sometimes in the world, not just in BW.
True.
In the world, you speak up against certain powerful men or people in positions of power, you're guaranteed that certain doors might be closed. Were you not scared about that? What made you rise above that fear, if that fear was there at all?
I really wasn't, and I think also because I have the backup of my family that are always supporting me, encouraging me, advising me, and just my small circle of friends and the people around me. So I'm never really scared, and I always know that I'm someone who speaks the truth.
Right.
I'm someone I never offend anyone. I stand on business and everything that I do.
Plus, you got Jesus. You got Jesus
I got
too.
Jesus on my
hallelujah,
side.
hallelujah.
So I just know I wouldn't wake up one morning and just bash someone for no reason. So that is enough for me.
So you're not a malicious person.
I'm not a malicious person.
That's not the intent for which
all.
you posted that thing.
Yes. I'm not a malicious person at all, so I'm not scared. I'm going to speak my truth. And that's what my dad said. He said, if you don't speak the truth, he just wants people to speak the truth. That is like a family motto we have. We always just tell each other, tell the truth, whether you lose a job, whether you lose a position, whatever you lose, but tell the truth. In the end, it'll all come together.
Right.
So it's just something that I grew up with also, that I have to tell the truth, no matter the consequences, whether people decide to bash me for it. At the end of the day, it's my truth, and God knows it's my truth, and I stand by it.
I love that for you. And congratulations, by the way, for that bravery and that level of courage.
Thank you.
Not a lot of people, even I sometimes, I'm mistreated in the industry. You can see that
like,
this is, I'm like, okay, I guess,
pass.
there's a little bit of timid, that goes on sometimes.
Yeah.
So kudos to you for standing up and doing that.
Thank you.
Tell me about this post. I will not remember exactly what it said, but you have said something about an intention from them to possibly take you to court. What's that about?
Yeah. Do I even want to talk about that? But the thing is, like I said, a lot of people have faced a lot of traumas and problems with this man, right? And people have come up to me, people in his team, people who are in his team, even his family members, partly, stuff like that. People are coming to me and telling me, oh, Safi's intending to take you into court. He's been talking about it. He's been talking about it even before you started posting. And I said, oh, why? And his reasoning is because you were not doing your Miss Universe duties, but you were busy with Miss Botswana when we also crowned you. And I'm just like, but what were my duties? Did you take the time to come sit down with me and tell me what the agreement is, what I'm supposed to do, the duties and stuff? Like, what were my duties? Where is the contract? When did we ever talk? So I'm just like, okay, let's go to court, I guess.
So the court case, if there should be any court case, might be on that, the duties, Miss Botswana, Miss Universe, and not necessarily what you have posted.
Well, even if he brings that up, it's my truth. I'm honestly ready for whatever comes, and I hope more people come up and tell me more truths. I'm honestly ready, and I'm tired. I don't want this to happen to any other person, so I am ready. I do not want Miss Universe Botswana to happen this year, if I'm being honest. I want them to go back to the drawing board and prepare and get their resources right and everything else that's needed. If not, leave it alone. It's traumatizing for the contestant. If you don't have the money, don't try it. Pageantry is expensive.
I think it might be an issue of money, because I'm struggling. I'm struggling to understand why such an organization that's supposed to be reputable cannot have an office space that then they operate from. It's certain things like that. Obviously, I don't have the information as to why they don't have an operating space, but it could be an indicator, a huge one, that possibly money is a big issue, but communicate. Right?
Communicate. Also, if you can't do it, you cannot do it, because if you
Just let
don't
it
have
go.
the money, why then should we suffer because you don't have the money? Because that's one of the things you'd always say, oh, I don't have resources, or the government is not supporting me, it's only supporting Miss Botswana, or people are not helping me. Nobody's gonna come and pour the money in. You have to have some money yourself. So if you don't have it, don't traumatize us, leave it alone.
But dude, do you know what level and what kind of influence you have? You can see
I
it.
kind of realized.
You saw it, right?
Because that's what my friend says. She's like, so you're lucky an influencer.
You're actually an influencer. You know why? Because they then post something about top 30 coming up.
Yeah.
And then what you simply have to do is go on the comments.
Yeah.
That's how you know that, Sebaga, you're a very, very influential person, because everybody kept saying, Hatu.
And they blocked me.
Oh,
Yeah.
they blocked you.
They blocked me. I commented on the post. They deleted my comment and blocked my page. But luckily, they forgot to block my personal account, so that's how I'm able to see everything else.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like, what level of petty is this? What's happening?
Yeah, I mean, you would imagine people would like to come to you, seeing what is going on,
Yeah.
and talk to you, right? Reasonably. And, but they're resorting to blocking. It's like a
Blocking me.
case of a bad relationship.
Honestly, like, what's happening?
It's like we're done.
Are we breaking up?
Block.
And Kuri, it's just odd to me. I cannot understand this. I'm like, what am I dealing with here? Is it like an individual, a serious organization? Who is even going to take it seriously after this?
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me.
So you're ready? Should there be any court case? By readiness, are you referring to a legal team that is ready to...
I'm ready.
Yeah? You got people,
I'm
yeah?
ready.
You got goons.
I got goons.
Ready to go.
I am so ready, and also the support that I've been getting from everyone else, it's amazing. Even just besides my people, I've had even lawyers come up to me, firms come up to me. People are tired, and I think he needs to understand that. I think he needs to take a moment to sit down and really hear everyone out and understand. You don't always have to be tough. You don't always have to come out supreme like, oh, it's not about that. Like, if you're going to keep doing this, I'm telling you, nobody's going back to that organization.
Right.
And I hope and I pray he doesn't post the top 30, because I know what's going to happen to those girls. People are not going to be happy.
Right.
People are going to be like, what are you doing there, when people are complaining about that organization?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping and I'm praying he doesn't post, and he shouldn't dare post.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough for them now, maneuvering the terrain, because it's going down. A fellow sister of yours who has been in the pageant world for a minute had something to share on the Overview podcast, Dabila Moses. She wasn't happy. You saw that post,
I saw
that
it.
episode, right?
I saw it.
She was literally, burnt, just unhappy, very, very aggrieved by the other organization. So when you see things like that, and then now it's you coming out to say on my podcast of your unhappiness, what sign does that kind of label the pageantry world in B-Dub?
That we have a problem with these organizations.
What
and
needs
that
to happen?
all I'm asking for is a structure, a body to just overlook everything and really see what's going on and screen everybody before they become a director. Because the funny thing is, if I have the money, I can be a director. Nobody cares if I'm a criminal, or nobody cares about anything else. So licenses can end up in the wrong hands, and that is my problem.
Right.
That people just get licenses because they have the money, but do they have the passion, and do they care about the well-being of pageant girls? That's questionable. So we need to have a formal body, whether it's a government one or it's private. We just need someone who's just gonna look at everything and make sure that we are well taken care of.
Yeah, from your lips to God's ears, right?
Yeah.
That's how the saying goes. I hope that happens one of these good days.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of the girls, right? For the sake of the girls. But yeah, when I saw that episode, I was like, oh man, these things are happening. So now it's you. I think it's been Dabilo. It's you. Has there ever been any other lady that came out and outed something?
I think there's been a lot, just that it's like Facebook posts,
Okay.
statuses.
Yeah.
They just
It's
hint
like
that something is happening.
subliminal.
Yeah, subliminals. They're never really straightforward with it. So there's always complaints. Even with the small pageants, there's always complaints. We have a big problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I hope that one of these good days, you guys are okay, because I needed to find out if the Bilo is okay, you are okay. I think there was something that was happening at some point with Palesa. The nation also vibrated towards something.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening right now. Your sister is going to Miss World.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I don't know when. We are dying for that to happen. We've been waiting. We're excited. She's been preparing. We
Yeah.
want to cheer her on.
Yeah.
So can it happen already, Miss World?
We need it to
Please?
happen. How do you suppose she's going to do when she goes out there to represent B-Dub?
I think she's going to do amazing. She's had more than enough time to prepare. She's really
yeah.
focused, from her talent to sports to she's always complaining that she's working so hard, and I'm just like, put in the work, you got this. I think she's going to do amazing. Also with what Lesego has done for us, the world is looking at us, so we stand a really good chance. They know we got what it takes.
Definitely.
So they're really looking at us. She's stunning, she's amazing, she's beautiful. So I'm pretty positive she's gonna do amazing. She's gonna give it her all, and that's enough for me.
I love that.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. Speaking of the current Miss Universe, I think she had a birthday yesterday, if not today.
It's today. Both of them, actually.
Both
Same
Anisha
day.
and...
Yeah.
What?
Both my queens.
That's
same
crazy. But
Yeah.
one of the comments, right? If not even one, like several comments were saying that, because then the Miss Universe Botswana posted and said happy birthday to the queen, blah, blah, blah. And it was like at 2 p.m., right? And then two people were like, you guys are not serious? It looks like you didn't even know, because you should have posted in the morning.
Also, because I said it on my post before they posted that, I said you didn't even wish our queen a happy birthday, and we are supposed to take you seriously.
Then they started posting.
Then they posted, and people are like, oh, so you're waiting for Sebaga to point it out. Were you even ever going to post?
I mean, come on.
Yeah, and now they're comparing, like, Anisha got this. You didn't get her anything. What's happening? Not even a photo shoot, nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are you hoping that happens? What are you hoping it happens in the few days that are coming? Are you hoping for a phone call from Miss Universe Botswana to come to a table and talk about your prize money? Talk about or clarify a few things that you're not happy with? Is that what you're hoping for?
That's exactly what I'm hoping for. I want them to call me, I want them to meet me, I want them to talk to me and answer my questions. I don't only want to talk about the prize money, I want the prize money, they should give it to me.
Yeah.
And I want them to do everything else just this that I talked about, not just for me, even for the girls that are coming after me. Because if they're going to give me my money and they continue to do that, I'm still not going to be happy and I'm not going to be quiet. I'm really going to torment them if they continue to do this. I've said this and I'll say it publicly. If I'm not happy with how they treat those girls, I will not stand for it.
Yeah.
And I keep saying, ha hona top 30 before they answer everything that I talked about, before they answer to it, before they address it. I will not allow them to peacefully have that top 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to make noise. We are not going to support it. Yes.
So a few people that might say, yeah, man, she's just really ungrateful to Miss Universe that has put her on some platform.
What platform?
Botswana, no, devil's advocate, right? Botswana possibly knows her through Miss Universe.
Come on.
They've probably done a few projects for you, and now you're doing this to us. You know, you're very ungrateful, blah, blah, blah. Are there certain things you're happy about they could hinge on and call you ungrateful? Nothing?
I'm really trying to think. Give me time.
I mean, if you're thinking
do we
about
have time?
How many minutes we got left? Huh? It's been 30 already.
Oh my goodness. I knew we needed more time, TK.
Yeah, we needed an hour.
I knew it.
We needed an hour. Because, man.
Yeah, I met amazing people. That one I'll keep saying. The sisters, no, I'm serious, TK. Please don't laugh. It's going to be like, but I've met amazing people, and yeah. And I was excited about the project, the whole district thingies that was going on. I killed my presentation. I was happy. Yeah. Guess what? It just amounted to nothing. No results about it. There was no best project. There was nothing about it. So I'm just like, I presented it around like midnight. Why? Because the whole day we were doing other things. Imagine presenting your project at midnight. Man. So it's just like, my mind is clustered because I'm thinking of everything that went wrong, and I can't even, besides laughing with the girls here and there, I can't think of anything.
I understand.
Yeah.
But look, I appreciate your time and sharing this with the rest of the nation. I believe there might be something else you want to share that we might not be picking up now. Is there something like that?
Yes.
Okay, please.
Do your research before you join a pageant.
Okay.
Look at his background, who is the director, what kind of person are they. Parents, be cautious also of the pageants that you want your kids to join.
Right.
Pageantry has gotten so toxic, and Botswana stand together and look at this problem and be sure to resolve it. We also need everybody else, the government, private entities, the parents, the kids, even the pageant people. We need to come together and really solve, because this is a problem. It's not even starting now, it's been years. So let's address it once and for all, and let's make sure that pageantry is empowering as it's meant to be for everybody in it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Just one last question before I let you go. The government, I know that that's public and then that's private, right? There shouldn't be any correlation. But do you feel maybe it should be a public thing going forward, such that the reputation is contained and it's protected? And maybe if it's a fund issue, then with the government, you're highly likely to get funding for projects for Miss Botswana and for Miss Universe.
Would you agree with you?
Yeah?
Yeah, I'd rather have it that way.
Okay.
Also because we always emphasize that at the end of the day, when you go on the international stage, it doesn't say Sebaga Manyapetsa.
It's saying Botswana.
It says Botswana.
Miss
It doesn't
Universe
even
Botswana.
say whoever. It says Botswana. It has the
yeah.
Botswana flag. So I feel like the government really has to hop on.
I think that might work.
But we also need to make sure that it's reputable enough and organized enough for the government to see that, okay, let me invest in this thing.
I think that might be the issue. Because, look, rumors have been flying around for years now, right? So maybe, just maybe, the government also looks at these things and like, maybe let's not attach ourselves to this, you know? Anyway, Sebag, in your last words, top 30. It's girls.
What? Am I talking to the top 30 girls?
You're talking to the girls. I don't know if they're top
Which
30.
girls?
The ones that are supposed to be part of the thing. They need you.
What if I just start bawling?
They need you. They need you. And that's your camera.
Well, I can only speak of my experience. I don't know what's going to happen with you guys, but if you see one red flag, even just a little, and it looks a bit pink, but you think it's red, move, speak out, leave it immediately. It's not worth your time and your energy. And please, please, please speak out. Speak out. I cannot emphasize this enough. We got your back always. Or talk to me directly. I'm always here to talk to you guys. Mwah.
Sebaga Manyepetsa, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you for
You're
having
amazing,
me.
and I wish nothing but the best, a positive outcome out of all of this. I don't want you guys to go to court. I hope that they get back to you and you guys, iron things out at a table like grown folks and reasonable people that have been doing business together and are civil people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On the other side of that, you're a good friend of mine, so I'm also like, guys,
please,
what are you doing?
Please.
Come on, this is my G. You know what I mean?
With me.
Work with you. You know what I mean? But thank you for stopping by, and until the next time we see each other, where I will have a question about you and one take. What was that? What was that?
What?
That relationship.
What relationship?
Ladies and gentlemen.
What is he talking about? TK, I'm a princess. I'm still a princess.
Can we wrap it up?
Let's wrap it up, guys.
But from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you so much, sis. And God bless you. May God shine his light on your path. And may all your heart's desires, including the prize money, you know, be fulfilled. And until the next time we see each other, stay juicy.
Until next time, TK.
One time. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 people, 1 episode. How juicy can it be? First, Ndinaye Chengeta, and now second for the last part, my good sister, Miss Universe Botswana 2024 second princess, Sebaga Manyepetsa. And until the next time we see each other for another juicy episode, stay juicy. Bye.